Hi, I'm Tony Vlahos for ExecuNet, and you're watching a special edition of From the Saddlebag. The job search trail can be lonesome and difficult. Some might even say downright treacherous if you can't see where you're going or don't know exactly what you're doing. Having a trusty guide makes all the difference, and that's where ExecuNet comes in. Joining me today is acclaimed Senior Executive Coach and Managing Director of the ExecuNet Career Services Group, Mr. Don Weintraub, who is going to answer questions you might have about how to leverage the current executive hiring market to find and get the role you want. Don, hello.
Good morning, Tony.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Some statistics, which many of our viewers, of course, are familiar with, approximately 3.5 million Americans quit their jobs in June, according to the U.S. Department of Labor. The jobs report released in early September revealed the unemployment rate at large was roughly 4%, and hourly earnings had jumped by almost 3%. So from local burger joints to Fortune 500 conglomerates, everyone seems to have a help wanted sign in their real or virtual windows. What is the current state of the job market for executives seeking or considering a change?
I think it's a robust market, but lots of competition, as you mentioned. The number of folks who voluntarily left their job last month was the highest in many, many years. And so what we're seeing are folks who are deciding that the market is a strong one, and it's a good time to pack up their saddlebags and leave their current employer. It's sort of the reverse of what we saw during the recession, when folks were staying in their jobs, despite how miserable those jobs might be, because they needed to pay their bills. Now folks are feeling confident and secure that they can pick up and leave their current role, some with a new role already lined up, but perhaps some saying, this is just a good time to leave, take my chances. There are jobs out there, and I would hope to find one relatively quickly.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of talk about the IT sector being particularly strong for executives who are seeking to make a change. Is that widely true of the executive market across industries? Are there certain pockets where things seem a little dimmer than the rest of the market, or is it not the case?
I don't see any particular trends across industries or functional areas. Given how many jobs have a technology component to them in the marketplace, replacing jobs that in manufacturing, for example, with jobs in technology, the service sector is where one would find probably the most opportunities. The flip side is that there's probably the most competition as well. Mm-hmm. So job search is a competitive process. It really is. And so, yeah, there are going to be opportunities out there, but there's also going to be a lot of competition, and how well you stand out and how well you can compete will determine whether you'll get in the door in the first place for some sort of an interview, and secondly, whether you'll be the guy or woman who's chosen to fill that role that's now open.